Hello, my name is Dwight Norris, and today we're going to review the Bass Pro Shops Tourney Special Crankbait on the water. Stay tuned. So today I'm going to be using a crankbait. Oh, where did it go? Bass Pro Shops Special. Here it is. It has a gold top, blue and white sides, a spot, kind of like a bluegill or maybe a golden shiner kind of thing mixed on there. They can't really tell the difference. Gigantic treble hooks. I'm talking about I'm going to snag them before I actually give them a bite. But I haven't tried any crankbaits out here before, and I really want to see what it does. It has a really big lip. It's probably about a medium-sized lip, so I'm guessing it'll go somewhere between 6 and 10 feet in depth, which this area is between 6 and 8 feet deep. But next to the veg pylons, it goes a little bit deeper. So that's what we're going to try out. So I'm going to pull this baby on, and we're going to see how it wobbles and shakes and attracts fish. So I'm going to give it a cast. Got it on the rod. See what happens. Okay, it's diving real deep, real fast. The current going out is helping as well, but definitely it's a deep diver. That middle one is down there. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about this Bass Pro Shops Tourney Special Crankbait. As you can see, I talked about it having the gold top and the blue sides with a dot. The dot pretty much entails that it might be a panfish, bluegill, pumpkin seed, something of that variety. I believe even some shad have something like that. Now, for the action, it was a really wide wobbler, and it went really deep, really fast. I believe it to be somewhere in the mid to deep range. But as you know, the very deep range is when the bill of the crankbait is longer than the crankbait itself. So around 10 feet is about the maximum depth that it hit. I was in a spot that I've seen on topographic maps that's somewhere between 10 and 12 foot, and it hit the bottom, which was great because I could feel that there were rocks down there and a lot of mud and a tiny bit of grass. I knew there was grass because it came up with grass. So that was another indicator that I had hit pay dirt. So if you're looking for a 10-foot diver, this is a good bait. Now, another great thing about it is that it only costs $3. Yes, there was a giant bin right in front of the desk, the information desk, which is usually right next to where they're selling the tracker boats. And to the right of it is all the lures, and in front of it is the big bass tank with all the gigantic fish in it. I believe they're gigantic. Otherwise, it's extremely magnetized. I'm not sure, but this in the bargain bin. Have you ever heard of that before? And it's $3. They have poppers in there. They have crankbaits. They have jerk baits. They have spinner baits. They have pretty much every bait you can get. It's their cheap edition, i.e., probably from China. Let's just say it. It's from China, and they know how to make stuff, make it quick, and make it cheap, and make it work. Now, a fun thing happened while I was fishing with it that was not caught on camera. It's that my son got his lure caught in some overhanging trees, and as we were careening toward a tree that had poison oak going down it, like a vine of hairy poison oak about this thick, almost thick as a tree. And I was trying to get my son to avoid it because I don't want to deal with that. Amongst other things that are happening, you don't want to go to the doctor right now. And unfortunately, I stepped on this crankbait, and the hook, including the barb, went straight through my toe, and I was like, "Oh God!" Well, I didn't say that. What I said was something else, which was not nice, and it hurt for quite some time. So, if you want to talk about the sharpness, oh, it's sharp enough to go through me. So, watch yourself. And if the fish do happen to bite this thing, which it did not that day, it was super cold water, somewhere around 40 degrees, and it was super windy. It was blowing my inflatable boat around like it was a little child, slapping me left and right, and with a trolley motor in the back. Not good. But crankbait itself performed really well, and it helped. Usually when you have a poorly balanced crankbait, you'll see it'll start digging good and have a good rhythm, and then it'll just slip off to the right, or it'll slip off to the left because they haven't balanced the crankbait perfectly in the middle. And this gets annoying because once that happens, it slips, and then it might roll, or it might flip over itself, and then the treble hooks will grab the fishing line, and then it won't be a crankbait anymore. It'll be a piece of wood you're dragging, or a piece of metal you're dragging through the water, with no hopes of attracting fish because it's not imitating anything but a cheap piece of crap. So I was very surprised that it actually functioned properly, even under a heavy current. So if you're looking for a really cheap option, something to test the waters, you want to get into all the structure, like I've said before, and really get in there, hit those stumps, hit those logs, hit those branches, and like try to come out good on the other side. Remember, when you hit an object with a crankbait, you want to pause for a second. It's going to hit it, it's going to go boop, and it's going to float up for a second. And during that floating up period is where it looks like a wounded bait fish, or at least disoriented. And that is when the bass is going to say, "That's an easy meal. I'm going to swallow a thing that'll come out of nowhere, whoosh, and just tear that thing up." And next thing you know, you'll be like, "Whoa, holy, what happened?" Awesome. So take those tips and go to Bass Pro Shops and get you one if you're looking for something cheap.